Are anabolic steroids mentally addicting? I'm not talking about physically addicting. I'm talking about addicting in the human brain, psychologically addicting, similar to other drugs, like let's say cocaine, heroin, opiates, and so on. The truth is, yes, anabolic steroids do have addicting properties, especially people who have addicting personalities disorder. Now, keep in mind, anabolic steroids do alter the human brain. Anything that alters the human brain will have addicting properties, especially if you do alter the neurotransmitters which are responsible for dependencies like dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, norepinephrine, and so on. So anabolic steroids are going to play a role in these neurotransmitters. Like for example, if you take testosterone, it's going to increase your dopamine, your serotonin, your norepinephrine, and once you go off it, your neurotransmitters are not going to be as they were before because they're going to need some time to recover. This is why testosterone itself has addicting properties, and this is also why when you use testosterone you feel better, and this is why it's even used as an antidepressant. So don't think for a second that they are not mentally addicting. Now, they are not as addicting as let's say other hard recreational drugs like cocaine and heroin, but they are definitely addicting, and a lot of people do not expect it. Let's say you go on a steroid cycle and it increases your norepinephrine, acetylcholine, your dopamine, and a few other neurotransmitters that are responsible for the way you feel. You're gonna feel better, you're gonna feel stronger, you're gonna feel more confident. And when you go off it, you're not gonna feel as good because your neurotransmitters are not as heightened as they were when you were on a cycle. So you are going to feel worse. Now, someone who has addicting personalities, that means that chances are they're not gonna go off a steroid cycle because they do not expect it. Everywhere they read anabolic steroids are not mentally addicting, so they do not know what to expect. Now, the truth is, yes, they are not going to make you go crazy. You're not gonna go and break into a liquor store, rob people, empty your bank account to go and get your next anabolic steroid dosage. But the fact is, it is gonna be enough to wreak havoc into your life once you go off a cycle. So that means you're not gonna be as mentally focused. So let's say you are working in business and you need to have high mental acuity. When you go off anabolic steroids, especially testosterone, which is the feel-good hormone, you're not gonna feel as sharp. Might even cause you to have business decisions that are not gonna be to your positive outlook. Believe it or not, I've seen this happen, and this is why TRT is used a lot in the business world, because it does make you feel more confident, increases mental acuity, and you just feel a lot more driven. Now, I co-own 2 TRT clinics, and I've seen a lot of men in business going on TRT for this specific reason. In fact, TRT is used a lot in the business world just because of the drive it gives you. You know, the alpha male. So when you go off testosterone, you're gonna feel like not an alpha male type. You're gonna feel the complete opposite. Like you're gonna have the testosterone levels of a 10-year-old girl for a while. So you're not gonna feel as confident. So what do you think that's gonna do to your mental outlook on life? And if you do have an addictive personality, you're gonna start questioning the reasons why you should be on. Like you're gonna start reading articles, you're gonna be telling people that, oh, but going on testosterone at an older age is good for you. It has more positive benefits than negative. So you're gonna start questioning that, wow, maybe I should be on it. Now think about this. If you did not need testosterone before you went on it, you do not need it off. It's an excuse to stay on. This is also a reason a lot of people choose to stay on TRT even though they do not need it. They just take it because it makes you feel better. It's an excuse to be on. That's the truth. The majority of people do not need TRT, but they will go on it because a lot of times they are mentally addicting. And that's how it is, and that's how it's always gonna be. When people are addicted to a certain substance of the way it makes you feel, you don't wanna go back to feeling something that you did not feel while you're on a cycle because you're always chasing that high, that feel-good feeling, that mental drive. And if you have achieved that mental drive by using a substance, you wanna keep that drive. You don't wanna reduce that drive. So this is the reason why anabolic steroids are addicting. Now, some are going to be more addicting than others, but at the end, everybody will respond differently to anabolic steroids. So if you do plan on using a steroid cycle, especially if you do plan on going on testosterone, and then you do plan on going off it, you are going to experience depression, anxiety, your sleep is not going to be as best, your energy is not going to be out there, you're going to have a drop in libido, which that alone is going to affect your mental state. So you need to be aware of these things. So they are mentally addicting and you need to be ready to accept the consequences. But like I said, at the end, it's a choice you have to make. But if you do have an addicting personality, I would not use any anabolic steroids at all unless you have severe testosterone deficiency, and then you could go on TRT and you could benefit by going on legitimate TRT. I'm talking about legitimate TRT dosages, not the bodybuilding dosages that they call it TRT, all right? I want to make this very clear because it seems TRT is being abused a lot. I've seen bodybuilders telling everyone they are using 150 and 200 milligrams a week, and their blood tests are actually showing 400 and 500 milligrams. So which is which, you know? So don't believe what bodybuilders tell you when it comes to their TRT dosages, because what they tell you and what I've seen in blood tests is two completely different things when it comes to their dosages. So there you have it. I just wanted to clear this out because I see a lot of people telling other people that anabolic steroids are not mentally addicting. They are definitely mentally addicting, and you need to do your research. And if you do have an addicting dependency, I would not go near anabolic steroids. Till next time.